Hey everyone, it's Lindy from Stitch and Lindy. I am making a rainy day because it's awful. You can't see the glare out there, but you can't see that it's pouring rain today. It was actually freezing rain this morning. So today is a comfort food meal. So I am making stew, but I know I've done a stew before. This is a different take on a stew with jackfruit. So my husband said he'd never try jackfruit again, so I'm going to see if he'll like this. So, we're playing trickster today in the meals. I'll let you know what he thinks. Here's the recipe. So what you're going to need for this recipe is any vegetables that you normally add to your stew. So I always add carrots, potatoes, onions, garlic, some mushrooms, and some celery. If you're adding any other vegetables, by all means, whatever you're going to add to a stew normally, just add those same vegetables. For my seasonings, I've got pepper, garlic powder, and I have a beef stew package, which I'm actually seeing on these ingredients. There is nothing that's not plant-based, so this is fine to use if you're following plant-based as well. So I'm just using that. If you put your own seasonings in instead of the package, then by all means. The only thing different that I'm doing with other than a regular stew is instead of meat, I'm adding jackfruit. So if anybody hasn't tried this, you can get these in two different forms. You can get them in brine, which I have, or you can get them in syrup. Syrup is very, very, very sweet. You can use this in place of meat for any dish. I've made pulled pork with this. And I've been wanting to try it again for stew. So this is the young green jackfruit in brine. It's so much easier to get in a can because it's so much work to peel it and prep it if you get it fresh. So I suggest getting it in a can, but make sure you get it in the brine. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take this out of the can, drain it, and rinse it off. Okay, so I've just drained and rinsed my jackfruit. So this is what it looks like. So it's just big pieces. Once it starts cooking, it pulls apart just like shredded meat. So just leave it whole for now until you have cooked it I'm cooking it in the crock pot. So just keep it whole until you've cooked it for a few hours in there, and then it'll shred just like meat. As you can see, they are quite big chunks that come in the can. So if you do like a meatier stew, you might want to add 2 cans, but I just have 1 can on hand, so that's what I'm adding. So I'm just putting that in my crock pot as is. Okay, and I'm just treating this just like I would a meat in a stew. So I've just added my garlic powder and my pepper right onto the jackfruit, and I've turned my crock pot on low. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to prep all your veggies. So I like more of a rustic stew, so I leave my pieces quite big in size when I do cut up my veggies. So I've got my carrots, celery, mushrooms, onions, potatoes, garlic, all thrown in there. If you want to throw anything else into your stew, by all means, parsnip would go really good, or even turnip. Anything that you want to throw in here. I always like to call stew more of a clean out the fridge type meal. So anything you want to put in there. So you've got your jackfruit in the bottom, which I seasoned with garlic powder and pepper, and then all of your veggies go on top. Now you want to add your seasoning. So I have my Clubhouse slow cooker beef stew seasoning that I've just added onto this. Again, I have checked the ingredients, and there's nothing in there that you can't use if you're plant-based, and you're just going to want to add 1 cup of water. If you like your stew a little bit more runnier than like a gravy, say, you can add more than 1 cup, whatever you prefer. I wouldn't add any more than 2 cups because everything cooks down really well. So you just want to give this a really good mix, have this all mixed in. And again, I have this on low, which I'm going to cook for probably 3 to 4 hours, maybe even longer. So you just want to cook this, I would say 2 hours, and then we'll take a look at the jackfruit, because you want to, as you can see, this is the jackfruit here. You want to kind of shred it so you've got more meat type texture in the stew. So after 2 hours, I'll come back and show you what our next step is. Okay, so after a couple hours of it cooking, you want to take the pieces out and you just want to shred them with a fork, just like you would do with chicken. So once you're done shredding it, you just want to add it back in. And you're just going to let this cook for another couple hours, or you can put it on high for another hour and it should be good, just until it's really thickened as a stew, or until all your vegetables are tender. All right, so it's been cooking for about 5 hours, 5.5 hours. So there it is. Do you like the stew?
Yeah, it's really good.
So you didn't know it was jackfruit. Would you have known if I didn't tell you?
No, I thought it was tofu.
So you like it, since that's your second bowl.
I like the stew, yes. I don't want jackfruit by itself, though. It's gross.
But you can't even taste it in the stew, right?
No.
I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And as always, my handles are at the bottom, Stitch and Lindy on Connect, or on Facebook, my weight loss group is Stitch and Lindy's Weight Loss Journey. Thanks for watching.